Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina, and it's time for that live stream show. We're going to give away free trips. We're going to talk all about nearshore and offshore fishing. We're going to answer your questions and have a great time. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show tonight and every Sunday night right here on our Hubbard's Marina Facebook page. Also in Instagram and Trovo, Twitch, and YouTube as well. Also, I want to make sure to give a shout out to our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle. If you haven't been over to see our friends at Gator Jim's Tackle, make sure you do so. Tell them the good people at Hubbard's Marina sent you, and we'd appreciate it. They have a ton of great deals, and this show is made possible by our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle. So make sure you stop by, say hello. 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. They have killer deals, killer inventory numbers. It's a really, really cool place. Also want to give a shout out to all of those who have sent stars so far. We've got Tim Harris with a big 1,100 stars, Jeff Reedy, Stan Meeky, Larry White, Jim Evans, Michael D. Marinville, Stephen Phillip Bachelor, Craig Robinson, and Richard Blasak, Don Schuett. Appreciate you guys. Tony Barnes as well. Thank you all for sending some stars and showing your support. If you're watching on YouTube, Trovo, Twitch, Instagram, stars are just a way for people watching on Facebook to show their support. It kind of helps fuel the show, along with especially those in our supporters group. If you're a part of our private supporters group, you get access to the private after show that happens after the live show airs. It's a great time. Plus, you get access to that supporters group where we have a lot more kind of one-on-one stuff, and it's a good opportunity to have more communication. Plus, you get that after show. So think about becoming a supporter. That's also a great way to help fuel our live show. Craig Robinson, appreciate those stars as well. Tegwin Stockdale, what's going on, y'all? Thank you for the stars. With that, also want to make sure we explain how to win free trips. A lot of times there's some confusion surrounding how to win those free trips. In order to win some free trips tonight, you have to watch the show live. So you actually have to tune in, watch the show live. Then if you happen to be picked as one of those lucky winners, you have to respond within 5 minutes or less by texting the phone number on the screen, your full home address. So we're going to give away a 5-hour half day for 2, 10-hour all day for 2, 39-hour trip, and a Salinity Gear gift pack. And the way you win that stuff is by watching live. And then if you're picked as the lucky winner, you got 5 minutes or less to claim that free trip by texting the phone number on the screen. So make sure you stay tuned and watch live in order for a chance to win that Salinity Gear gift pack or one of the many trips we're going to give away tonight. Richard Fonzo, Scott Flynn, appreciate those stars. Thank you so much, guys. And then also make sure you comment where you're watching from. If you're watching on Trovo, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Make sure you comment. Let us know where you're watching from. It's always interesting to see all the different areas, towns, cities, states that people are tuning in from all across the United States and sometimes even the world, who knows. But appreciate everybody tuning in and joining us for this live stream show. Robert Bush, appreciate those stars. Estelle Wolfman, thank you as well. Then make sure you like and share the stream. If you're watching on Facebook especially, make sure you share it to your timeline, your favorite fishing group. Make sure you tell your friends by liking and commenting. Remember, on any social media account, whether it's our Twitter, our TikTok, our Snapchat, when you like and engage with posts or stories, it helps us to reach more people. So really, really appreciate everybody who's liking the post, commenting on the post, sharing the post. Whether it's YouTube, Trovo, Twitch, Instagram, it doesn't matter. It helps us to spread the word. So please make sure you like, comment, and share. Don Schuett, appreciate those extra stars, buddy. Thank you so much. And someone asked, does the stars help you win a trip? Nope, their stars are super appreciative, but they do not help you win a trip. Sometimes star senders win, but it's a random name generator that actually generates the winners for the trip giveaways. So it doesn't matter if you send stars or not. You just have to watch live, comment at least one time, and then continue to watch live. If you're picked as the lucky winner, you got 5 minutes or less to text the phone number on the screen. That's how you win the free trips. Terry Feather, appreciate those stars. Thank you so much. With that, we're going to get into these inshore photos and show you guys what we're catching inshore. Talk a little bit about what's going on in the inshore waters around Johns Pass. And then we're going to work our way near shore and offshore. Then we're going to work our way into the weather. Talk a little bit about the weather, what's going on now weather-wise. And then we're going to work our way into your questions. Remember, if you have a question that you want answered live during the show, make sure you again text the phone number at the bottom of the screen in order to have an opportunity for your question to be answered live. Let's get into the photos and show you guys what we're catching inshore. D Beers, appreciate those 1,000 stars. Thank you so much, D. All right, so inshore right now, we're seeing those Jack Crevalle definitely picking up. Jack Crevalle, I don't know how you want to pronounce it, tomato. I always just call them Jacks. Canal tuna is also a popular nickname for these fish. They get into big schools, they get riled up. They're typically pretty easy to find because you'll see them disturbing the water when they're feeding actively. It makes them easy to spot, easy to target, and anything fast-moving and flashy will help you catch them. They're a lot of fun. Some people eat them, most don't. They're a really dark, oily meat, but I have had it before, and it's not terrible if you know how to prepare it, but gotta bleed them. That's the trick with the Jack Crevalle for sure. But there's a lot around right now, and should be more and more as we move into this time of year. They're pretty active this time of year. The redfish bite has been pretty darn good around the area. Pretty interesting, though. They just had the Pro Redfish Tour, the Power Pole Pro Redfish Tour in Tampa Bay. There was something like 65, 70 teams or something like that. And a majority of those teams didn't even catch 2 redfish over 18 inches. Which is surprising that professional fishermen had such a struggle catching 2 redfish over 18 inches. So a little concerning for our fishery and our estuaries. But overall, we've been seeing a lot of nice redfish caught on our Salt Strong fishing group. That's where I get a lot of these, actually almost all of the inshore photos for our Friday news segments, for our fisherman reports. A majority of these photos I pull from the Salt Strong Fishing Club, and then some of them get sent to me by people around the area who fish often, like John Sasser and Taria. She'll send me some photos as well. So majority of these are pulled from Salt Strong, but the redfish bite has been going really, really well around the area. We're seeing a lot of these redfish. This was actually a charter these gentlemen came down for. Captain Nick with Real Dream Charters put them on a knot of redfish. They caught redfish until they got bored of it. They caught so many, so they had a great time out there on the water. The redfish really like those cut deadbaits this time of year, the cut thread fins, cut pinfish, cut ladyfish, all good options, soaking on the bottom for those redfish. Around local flats, mangrove shorelines, oyster bars, definitely a lot of shoreline action right now. Fishing those sun-drenched shorelines, especially after a chilly morning, is a good way to target those redfish. The sheep's head bite really has picked up nicely. Water is getting really cool overall, and this is the time of year those sheep's head get really aggressive and concentrated, and we're starting to see them really pick up. Some of the commercial fishermen, shore-based commercial fishermen, really come out in force when those sheep's head get thick, and we've actually seen those guys around the docks of Johns Pass filling up big coolers of sheep's head. So definitely thick action on the sheep's head around the docks. We're seeing sheep's head in the back bays, around the mangrove shorelines, around the seawalls, docks, even near shore. This is Taria here, caught this sheep's head in 30 foot of water while she was targeting hogfish. So the sheep's head are pretty active right now. Jetties, bridges, docks, seawalls, all good areas to target those sheep's head. And we've been catching some pretty good size ones overall. The snook action has really retreated to the back bay. We're seeing a lot of those snook move back. A lot of these photos that we're showing are from way up in Tampa Bay, around the mouth of rivers, creeks, bayous. Definitely a good spot to look for those snook right now. You can see behind this gentleman how shallow it is. He's fishing right in those mangroves. We're also seeing the trout action going pretty steady around the area, catching some nice speckled trout. This time of year, those trout get a little bit more shallow. We see them around docks and bridge lights at night. Areas that you used to catch snook in the summertime, like local passes around the bridge lights, we see a lot of trout this time of year. Dock lights become really active for those trout, especially on smaller moon phases like quarter moons or new moon. The trout get really thick around dock lights, redfish on the bottom. We even see triple tail around dock lights this time of year as well. Now let's get back to full screen here, and we're going to pull up those near shore and offshore photos. Craig Robinson, appreciate those stars. Samuel Lang as well. Thank you so much, guys. Now, near shore and offshore, we've been doing pretty darn good lately. We're seeing some really nice fish being caught near shore. The flounder opened up for harvest December 1st, so now you can catch and keep those flounder while we're out there near shore fishing on our 5 and 10 hour. Occasionally when the boat's swinging on a spot or we're drifting over hard bottom areas, occasionally we'll go over the sand and pick up those flounder that are typically adjacent to those hard bottom areas on the sandy bottom. The black sea bass get a little bit bigger, a little bit more aggressive, so we tend to catch some big black sea bass this time of year. Hogfish bites really going well. We're catching some real nice hogfish lately, and good numbers of them on our hub 5-hour half days, 6-hour half days, 8-hour 3/4 days, and even the 10-hour all day on the party boat. The 5-hour half day on the party boat gives you a chance for some hogfish. We've had days where we've caught 5, 6, 7, 8 keeper hogfish on a 5-hour half day, but a majority of those hogfish are coming up on 10-hour all days party boat wise, and really seeing a good number of them on private fishing charters where we can really hone in on those hogfish a little bit better. Seeing nice numbers of hogfish throughout, anywhere from 70 to about 80 foot of water is where we're seeing the best numbers of those hogfish. Light tackle and live shrimp definitely on the best, the best technique or option to target those hogfish. We're seeing some pretty good size hogfish, but we're still kind of weaving through some of those smaller ones to get those keeper hogfish as well. But as you can see, good numbers of hogfish. A lot of them from the party boat 10-hour all days, but some of them from those private charters as well. So great options to get out there and catch some hogfish. Gag grouper bite has been really good near shore. Most of the gags are coming on the private charters. Definitely the hub 5, 6, 8-hour private charters are the way to go to target those gag grouper, trolling that mirror lure 25 plus. We've been pulling in a ton of gag grouper anywhere from the shipping channel around the Skyway, Port Manatee, all the way out to about 60 to 70 foot of water. We're catching a lot of gags while trolling for sure. And we're seeing them on a variety of different half-day, 6-hour, 8-hour private charters. You can see here they are stroking the gags while trolling and while bottom fishing as well. But really seeing the big gags offshore in deeper water, the 39-hour, the 44-hour, the 12-hour extreme. That's where you have the option for the really, truly large gag grouper. But we're catching good numbers of decent-sized ones near shore. So here's some deep water gags out there from the 39-hour. And even Estelle caught one, so you know they're thick out there. Just kidding. She's a great fisherman, but I like to give her a hard time. We're close friends like that. Nice gag grouper all around, near shore and offshore. So it's a great time to get out there and catch some gags. Still seeing some of those red grouper. Remember, they are going to reopen January 1st. On a recent 39-hour trip, we caught a lot of these nice big African pompano. We did have to release a few of them. You're only allowed 2 per boat, but we did definitely see some nice ones come in and ended up catching or keeping 2 nice ones. The first 2 nice ones. We ended up catching a bigger one, but had to release it. Big cobia lately offshore as well. We've been seeing some nice big cobia out there. Creole snapper. I think it's a snapper. We call him a Creole. It's got to be in the snapper family. It looks like a snapper, but it's a Creole. There's a scamp grouper. Nice big old scamp grouper from Chris Presley there. The triggerfish are still open for harvest. We're catching some nice triggerfish as well. And big vermilion snapper, porgies, almacos rounding out the box for us. So good numbers of fish near shore and offshore. Really a great time to get out there on the water. Kathy Luce, appreciate those stars. Thank you so much as well. And I think I saw Terry Feather earlier as well. Thank you guys for the stars. So with that, let's get into some weather and show you guys what's going on weather-wise this upcoming week. We're really, really looking forward to a full moon on Wednesday, midweek this upcoming week. And that's going to make the bite really, really good, especially early in the week. A day or two prior to that full moon is a great opportunity to get a good bite of fish during the day. So let's go over here to our Weather Links page under Fishing Trips. You can find the Weather Links page. It's also under Info. You can find the Weather Links page as well. Under the Weather Links page, that top left side, wind finder forecast, let's start in the 5 and 10 hour forecast area. And you can see what I'm so excited about, a nice long stretch of some beautiful, beautiful weather. Lack of wind, not a lot of sea conditions, so great opportunity to get out there on the water. Kaylee Floyd, appreciate those 200 stars. Thank you so much. So, beautiful conditions, less than, look at that, Monday, 0.3 foot. So less than half a foot on Monday. Absolutely beautiful weather conditions there at the start of the week. Plus, you're on the front side of that full moon as well, so should be a killer bite Monday. Tuesday, less than a foot, still right ahead of that full moon. Wednesday is the full moon. Sometimes they still bite well even on the day of the full moon. Sometimes it can be a little bit more picky during the day if they're eating a lot of bait at night. But if it's overcast at night and then you have a clearer daytime, they will really bite well even during the day on a full moon. So you never know. If it gets foggy, which it typically does get foggy this time of year, we will likely see a very good day bite even through the week, even all the way through right on that full moon. Smitty, appreciate those 200 stars, buddy. Thank you very much. Thursday, Friday, still gorgeous weather. Very, very mild wind conditions. No sea condition, basically. The weekend gets a little breezy. A little bit of sea picks up, but not much whatsoever at all. So really beautiful weather all the way around, all the way through the whole period. So we're really looking forward to some nice weather and a great opportunity to catch a lot of fish near shore, inshore, and offshore even. But we've got our friend Captain Mike Anderson on the line here, so we're going to chat with him real quick and talk some inshore fishing. How are you doing, Cap Mike?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. So, we talked a little bit about some inshore stuff, but what's going on? What are you guys seeing in the bay and around Johns Pass? What should people be targeting inshore this time of year?
It's with that water temp holding right there. Everything. Some guys were telling me 71. I saw 73 late last week. I'm going to guess we're probably holding right there. It may climb a little bit as we've got some pretty good weather this week. So, that 70 to 75 degree mark is pretty perfect. Going to be a lot of snook activity. The redfish bite's been pretty tough. The trout bite's been really good. Guys are catching some sheep's head already, which is a good sign. So I'm expecting a pretty active trip tomorrow. We're coming up on the full moon. The tide's not great tomorrow. But they're not bad either. We do have some water coming in, so it should be a good morning bite. It's December, and those are, even though we catch a lot of fish in December, January, February, they're always a little bit tougher months because of the weather, because of the fronts. Having this pocket right here of good weather, I think, should be a positive. So, I'm anticipating being able to put together a pretty good bite tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the start of this work week. Should be an epic bite with that full moon and the weather finally calming down a little bit. I think the fish are going to be as excited as we are about a little nice stretch of weather finally. So definitely should be a great start to the work week. And I think Mahoney was wrong. It's time to call out of work.
No doubt. Well, and I think what's important to remember about tomorrow and about, even Tuesday and Wednesday is that Saturday and Sunday were nice.
Yep.
It isn't like you're coming off of really, really windy 2 days.
True.
And now tomorrow's supposed to be nice. So the water's still going to be dirty. You've had 2 days of fairly decent tides to kind of clean things up a little bit because the water on Thursday and Friday was pretty dirty. The stuff I saw Thursday and Friday, I wasn't real pleased with fishing because that dirty water just makes it a little tougher because our fish aren't accustomed to that water being quite that dirty.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that we had Saturday and Sunday was nice. I think that leads into a really, really decent bite, at least Monday and Tuesday. The full moon's going to affect it a little bit because of the opportunity to eat all night, but I don't think what you have to do is you have to play that transition game.
Yeah.
Everything's in transition. You have to pay attention to where your water temperature is. Those fish it hasn't been cold enough to push those fish all the way to the back yet.
Yeah.
So they're going to be somewhere between that early fall location and that winter location. And if you can, be patient and let the water come in so you can get to some of those spots in the backcountry, I think, like I said, I think you can have a pretty good day here Monday and Tuesday. I think the bite will be pretty good. So I'm pretty excited to get back on the water. It's been a little bit for me because we had Thanksgiving and then I got a week in the woods. So, which is really a great opportunity for, full-time charter captains, people who fish as much as we do. You get to recharge the batteries a little bit and coming into a Monday. If I fished 4 or 5 days last week, maybe you wouldn't be as excited to go back out Monday morning, but I'm pretty excited to get back on the water and get a little salt in my nose and get things rocking again.
Yeah, and we're a little spoiled in Johns Pass. The water cleans up for us a little quicker. Today, I was upstairs on the 3rd floor on a phone call, and I'm looking down. I'm like, dang, the water is clear in Johns Pass.
That's
on
great.
That hard inbound.
Good.
So I'm really expecting the pompano bite along Johns Pass, around the jetty, bridge, beaches to probably spark back up pretty quickly. Now that the water has really had a chance and opportunity to calm down and then also clear up. So, and sheep's head, oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
Down by me, the pompano bite in Bunce's Pass, the pompano bite in Pass-a-Grille can be really, really, really good. Now, those fish move around a little bit in those passes, so they're not always in the same place. But if you put a little time in and be patient, make sure those pompano jigs are actually getting to the bottom.
Yeah.
You can normally find those fish this time of year in their grub, and then it can be really, really spectacular.
As you're heading offshore out of Pass-a-Grille, that corner of Shell Key there, right before it starts to turn, that sharp, steep embankment, casting up to the beach and working the pompano jig down that cliff was always where I crushed them growing up. I don't know if it's still a good spot. That's still a hot spot.
It's still good, and I'll tell you, even as you go, if you're headed out and you veer off to the left, there's times when they're not on that edge and they're up on the bar a little bit.
Yeah.
Just outside of the pass some, depending on what that tide's doing.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's important for people to put the pieces of the puzzle together. What's the tide doing when you're in that pass? And then make yourself the fish who's hungry, wants to eat the baits that are coming out or coming into the pass, and try to position yourself accordingly, and then present your bait accordingly so it's presenting with the tide. And I think that can make a real big difference for, you know, every angler.
Got to think like a fish.
Got to think like a fish, my brother. No doubt.
Where are they looking? Where are they pointing their nose? And what are they looking for bait-wise?
100%.
Nice.
100%.
All right,
Should be a good week, man. I'm excited, buddy. I'm excited. I appreciate the opportunity to chirp in with you a little bit, and look forward to finally getting to see you next week.
All right, man. I look forward to it as well. And thanks for the call in and filling us all in. Hopefully you catch them up tomorrow.
Well, we'll have it posted all over social media if I do, and if I don't, I'll make something up.
There you go.
All right, my brother. Have a great week.
All right, man. See you, Capt. Mike.
All right, partner. See you, buddy.
Great charter captain. Always a good time talking to our buddy Capt. Mike. Rob Scooty, appreciate those 400 stars, man. James McCullum, appreciate those stars as well. Thank you all so much. Everybody sending stars tonight, and all our supporters watching. Chris Presley, what's up, man? 26 months as a subscriber. Thank you very much, Chris. All right, so with that, we talked a little bit about the weather. We talked a little bit about the moon and a lot about what's going on inshore. Hopefully you guys have some questions for us, because now we're at that point of the show where we're going to start answering your questions live during the show. Remember, if you want a chance to get your question answered live during the show, you do have to text us in your question to that phone number at the bottom of the screen. But first, before we get into your questions, we're going to start giving away some free stuff. We've got a 5-hour half day for 2, 10-hour all day for 2, 39-hour trip for 1, and a Salinity Gear gift pack to give away tonight. So let's start it off by giving away a 10-hour all day for 2 guests. 10-hour all day for 2 guests. Let's see who the lucky winner is of that 10-hour all day trip. Lucky winner is Christina Vaughn, or Christian Vaughn. Or Vaughn Christian. Vaughn Christian. I'm going to go with Vaughn Christian. Thank you very much for watching Lakewood Ranch, Vaughn Christian. Congratulations on that lucky win. You got 5 minutes or less to claim it by texting the phone number on the screen, your full home address. We still got a 5-hour half day for 2, a Salinity Gear gift pack, and that 39-hour trip to give away as well. So we got lots of time, lots of free stuff still to give away, so stay tuned. Now we're going to get into your questions, and let's see what our first question is. Of course, we're going to start it off right to the meat and potatoes. First question, how is the red tide? Killing me. The red tide is not great. Not great. Josh, let's go back to Facebook, and on Facebook, look up meteorologist Brian Bennett. Good dude, super intelligent, and definitely shares a lot of good information. Kind of like Mike's weather page, except for Brian does a little bit of everything. And when red tides are occurring, he really stays on top of the game and kind of gives you a no-nonsense scientific look without being too over-the-top analytical. So a little easier. So we're going to share not full screen, this button. We're going to share his Facebook page. Check him out. Make sure you give him a like. Since I'm just sharing his material, definitely check him out and give him a like. Meteorologist Brian Bennett. really good dude. We'll put a link to his profile after we're done showing his stuff here. But let's see here. We're going to scroll down because I want to show you the original. So this is November 9th, where the red tide really, really was thick and thickest. It started down here around Captiva, Fort Myers, behind Hurricane Ian, and it has slowly creeped north. So this was November 9th. Now we're going to scroll up here and look at a recent update. So this was December 3rd. So this was his update for yesterday. You can see here the bloom overall, the concentration of red tide has significantly dwindled, which is good news. And it has moved north, which is bad news if you're in Tampa Bay like me, Pinellas County. It has moved north quite a bit, but it stayed off of our beaches. As it was moving north, we got a little bit of an east wind, which pushed a majority of that bloom offshore. It's also kind of broken up a little bit, so it's not quite as concentrated. It's definitely worse around Anna Maria Island area from Sarasota to Venice along the beach. It's pretty heavy on the south side of the mouth of Tampa Bay. But we haven't seen any fish kills. We haven't seen any issues on the beach at Shell Key, Fort DeSoto, St. Pete Beach, Johns Pass. We haven't sensed it. We haven't really felt it. We haven't seen dead fish in our area. So overall, red tide is definitely out there. Remember, this is a naturally occurring organism that happens in the Gulf. It lives out there in the Gulf. But occasionally it will get concentrated along the shore and it will bloom. It needs the right salinity, it needs the presence of food and the right temperatures to kind of proliferate. So if the algae is present, there's food present, the right salinity levels, meaning the salt mixed with water level is right, it will bloom. So behind Hurricane Ian, we had all this water flushing off of the state of Florida, flushing with it a lot of nitrogen, a lot of phosphates, a lot of just crap from the surface of Florida getting wiped off by Hurricane Ian, all that rain. So that really caused the start of the bloom, and it's kind of been festering down there. It's moved north now, but the hope and the prayer is that it will just sit down there and kind of sizzle and fizzle out. You can remember 2017 and 18 was a very, very bad red tide, and that was really driven a lot, in part, at least in Tampa Bay, by the whole Piney Point deal, but also it was driven by Hurricane Irma. In September of 2017, Irma came through, hit the Keys, hit Everglades City. Same thing. A lot of water flushed out of the Everglades. A red tide event started down there. And then around October, November, December, it creeped north. By early spring, February, March, it was on our doorstep in Tampa Bay. April 7th or 9th, somewhere in there, they dumped Piney Point water. And that's when it moved into Tampa Bay and bloomed, and it stayed with us almost the entire 2018 year, which was pretty terrible. And then we had COVID. So it was a little bit of a strange run there, but definitely was caused by Hurricane Irma, exacerbated by dumping from Piney Point. And this is caused by Ian. So I'm hoping and praying we don't exacerbate this with some big dump from Piney Point or from Tampa, Port of Tampa, or St. Pete loves to dump sewage. So hopefully all the city municipalities behave themselves and don't pollute our local waterways, and hopefully this stuff will fizzle out before we get into spring. Because if this stays like it is now, and then we get into spring and the water starts warming up, that's going to be a problem. That's when things can hit the fan, especially as we move into rainy season. In the spring and summer, it starts raining more often. We get into June, it's raining almost every day, these big afternoon thunderstorms. That's what causes a lot of runoff, and with runoff becomes more food for the bloom, and the water's warmer, which is better for the bloom. Salinity levels are better for the bloom. So really gets kind of perfect for growing these big red tide events in spring and summer. So hoping and praying wintertime cold fronts and just wintertime weather conditions will help us break this up and get rid of it before it's really a thing in Tampa Bay, Pinellas County. But time will tell. It's unfortunately all you can do is hurry up and wait. So hopefully that answered your question about red tide, and hopefully that's the last we'll talk about it. I'm just hoping and praying, but we'll find out. Again, no impact on our area currently, and no real big deal around Tampa Bay. But who knows? And even if it does get bad along the coast and in Tampa Bay, it doesn't affect our offshore fishing. What it does affect is our ability to get and keep live bait. That's a problem because then it becomes really challenging to get and keep live bait. All right, let's talk now. Are there any public places to fish at night that has underwater lighting? Good question. I don't know off the top of my head. A lot of places that I like to fish are dock lights at night, and there's a lot of underwater lights around local canals. You just have to be really respectful of the homeowners and make sure that you're not waking people up, and they'll keep their lights on. But if you go up and you're really loud behind a home, or you're casting and hooking the dock and getting too close to the dock, people turn their lights off, and they won't turn them back on, and it ruins the fish. It ruins the fishing. So really got to make sure you're being respectful of the homeowners when you're fishing those dock lights, and you can find some underwater lights that'll hold a lot of fish. So definitely make sure you're looking out for that. But I don't know of a shore-based or public area that has underwater lights. But almost every pass has a bridge with some lights being cast into the water. So definitely look for those. If I remember correctly, you said earlier the 2023 amberjack season was closed. I don't remember saying that. The May 2023 amberjack season is closed. But 2023 amberjack season should be September and October. There's a chance that it might not open, or it might close early, or it might change. But right now, it's supposed to be September and October. Let's see what other questions we have here. Oh, one of our office staff texted me a list of stuff she wanted me to say. So I got to make sure I do that, or I'm gonna get in trouble. So where's that? If you 12-hour extreme Wednesday has a light load on it, only 8 people, and definitely a lot of room and a great opportunity for some big gag grouper, scamp grouper, mangrove snapper, and also some of those yellowtail snapper as well. So great option to get out there and catch some of those fish Wednesday on the Flying Hub 2. Only 8 people, and definitely some nice fish being caught out there on the Flying Hub 2. So join us Wednesday for that 12-hour extreme. Super light load, only half full right now. Next question. That is a cool hat. Yeah, this is my Florida Guides Association hat. Can't really see the logo too well, but we have a online store for our Florida Guides Association. I'm currently the president of the Florida Guides Association, and we are working on really breathing some life back into the website and the online store and the organization as a whole. We've got a really active board right now, and definitely working hard at it. So Josh will share the link to this hat in the comments, where you can actually purchase the hat online through the Florida Guides Association website. So if you like it, you can buy it now or after the show. After the show. Buy it after the show. And we'll mail it to you. So next question, let's see here. And also, if you want to fish in Florida and not fish with Hubbard's Marina, say you're going to the East Coast, or you're going to Jacksonville, or somewhere else, you can use that Florida Guides Association website to find a fisherman or a guide around the state that you know is guaranteed to have a license, have insurance, have the fishing licenses he needs in order to operate safely and operate legally. So the Florida Guides Association brand makes sure that any captain, a part of our fishing guides group, is a part of the drug consortium, has his fishing license, has his captain's license, and has business insurance. We verify all that to be a member. So pretty cool. You can go with confidence when booking with a Florida Guides Association member. I know you're not a doctor or know all the answers. However, how would you feel about feeding the fish caught on your boats to your family? I assume that means in reference to red tide, and I personally ate fish all through red tide. I would feed it to my kids as well. My wife didn't always agree with me, but I ate fish throughout the whole red tide event, and definitely has no effect on fish where we fish, because think about this. The worst red tide events we've had dead fish and nasty water out to 14, 15, 18 miles sometimes. Sometimes you get pockets of it out deep. But where we fish 25, 30, 40, 100 miles from shore, there's no red tide. So you're catching fish, putting them in a fish box, and coming back. This fish was never introduced to red tide. Now, granted, you might have to drive through some nasty water and see some dead fish on the surface, but it doesn't affect our offshore fishery. So, yeah, feel super confident about eating the fish and feeding it to my children. But like I said, sometimes my wife didn't agree to me, and I can understand the trepidation with eating fish during red tide. But red tide does not affect fish, and it doesn't affect humans who eat the fish. What it does affect is shellfish. So crustaceans, bivalves, they become unsafe because they can actually concentrate a type of, I want to say poison, but I don't know if that's right. I forget off the top of my head, but 100% fish are safe to eat, even from the red tide waters. But where we fish, we don't fish in red tide waters, because in red tide waters, we don't catch fish. So during a red tide event, we always go beyond the red tide. Like the one time we had red tide, I want to say it was like 17, 18, even back in 2014 when it was real bad along the coast, we just go a little further. So like one time we had to change our 5-hour half day to a 6-hour half day because we needed an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to run further and fish a little deeper, get past the red tide. So that's how we do it. It doesn't affect our ability to catch fish, eat fish, have a great time. But the ride out, the ride back, we just have to get beyond that red tide in order to catch and have a lot of fun. But you can keep fish anywhere. I've called and also emailed about joining the Regulars Club. If I'm missing something, nope. I got your email and your call, and you are on the top of my to-do list, Min. I actually tried calling today, but unfortunately got pulled 17 different ways, so didn't have the opportunity to call on Sunday. But I will be calling you tomorrow to sign you up. I'm the only one who handles our Regulars Club. That way I can make sure I give you guys the best service possible. But sometimes I do get a little busy and am a little delayed in getting back to you. So maybe it's not the best service possible in some circumstances, but definitely you're on the list, Min, and you're at the top of the list, buddy. So I will be getting back to you. I appreciate your patience. Next question. Let's see. Where do I find info on the Regulars Club membership? I couldn't find it a few days ago. Josh just put the link in the chat, but it's right on our website. If you go to hubbardsmarina.com, hover over fishing trips, scroll down to more info, and then you'll find the Regulars Club. So fishing trips, more info, Regulars Club. That's where the information is at on the website if you want to know more about our Regulars Club. It's a loyalty program. Basically what it does is if you're fishing 10, 15, 20 times a year or more, you can join the Regulars Club, or if you want to fish 10, 15, 20 times a year or more, you can join the Regulars Club, pay a little bit of money to join. You're committing to doing a certain number of trips in the upcoming year, and then you get a discount on those trips. So on our top level club, you get 50% off the 5 and 10 hour trips. You get 30% off the 12-hour night, the 39, the 44-hour trips. But it's $400 to join. There's a first-time sign-up fee of $40, so it's $440 plus tax to join. It's like $470 and 80 cents with tax to join. But you get 50% off 10-hour all days. You save $150 off a 39-hour. But you have to do 15 trips. 39 and 44 hours count as 2. So you have to do at least 8 39-hour trips or 15 10-hour trips through the year in order to you have to commit to that in order to sign up for the top level club. But it gives you a good discount. It gives you discounts in our shops. It gives you discount on the trips. And it's kind of a cool way to fish more often for less money. But you definitely have to do it. You have to go fishing a lot for it to make sense for you as well. So it's not a discount program. It's a loyalty program. Check it out on our website. Again, fishing trips, more info, Regulars Club. That's how you find it. How long does it take for the prize to be delivered? I won the Salinity package last week and have not received it. Again, that's my fault. It takes me a few days to send out the winners, and then it takes a few days for those to be processed. So be patient. We'll get that into the mail to you quickly, but it does take a little bit of time, probably 2 to 3 weeks, because it takes a week sometimes for it to get to the place where it is packaged and kind of transmitted, and then it has to be packaged and shipped to you. So it takes a little bit of time to get out those certificates, to get out those Salinity Gear gift packs, but we're going to get them to you, trust me. So I appreciate your patience and your free winnings. Let's see. Time to give away another free trip. We're going to give away the Salinity Gear gift pack. Let's see who won that Salinity Gear gift pack from our friends over at Salinity. Adam Willis. Congratulations, Adam, from Newburgh, Indiana. Might take 3 weeks to get to you, buddy. But congrats, Adam Willis. You got to text in your full home address to the phone number on the screen in order to be eligible to collect your free gift to prove you're watching live. So text us to that phone number on the screen, your full home address, Adam, to claim your prize. Let's see. How long after you sign up for the Regulars Club member do you find out if you're a member or not? Immediately. So in order to sign up, you have to call me or stop by the office. You can also email me and we can set up a time to do that. But you can just call me, stop by, we sign you up. And once you sign up and pay, you're immediately a Regulars Club member. You're just committing to a certain number of trips. If you don't meet that commitment, then the following year you wouldn't be back allowed into that level of Regulars Club. But it's not one of those things that you have to be accepted into. It's not one of those things that we have to do a background check on you. But there are certain etiquette rules. There are certain policies that you have to follow. Like say if you sign up to be a regular and you're fishing a lot with us, then people become to know you, get to know you, and we start calling you by name. And then you go out in the boat and then you cross someone up and start cussing at them and just portray a bad example, then potentially you could be kicked out of the club. So there are some ways that you could potentially lose your membership, but it's very rare that we run into that. But we do reserve that right because we want to try to make sure that everybody has a great experience on the boat. And our Regulars Club are like our ambassadors, the people that go fishing a lot. They try to help other people. We kind of rely on them to make sure that they are holding the Hubbard's Marina etiquette and just overall sentiment and Hubbard's Marina culture and proliferating that Hubbard's Marina culture. An excellent client experience with superior guest service. That's what we guarantee and stand behind. How heavy is your Thursday 10-hour trip? It's about half full right now. Definitely a great opportunity to catch tons of fish. Uh, Tuesday is a little bit more full, about maybe 60% full, but both Tuesday and Thursday, great opportunities to get out there on the water and catch tons of fish. We got lots of half-day trips through the week, light loads. This is a great time of year before Christmas that we're experiencing great weather, perfect water temperatures, really, really good opportunities to catch fish, and lighter loads, less people on the boat. So this is the time to go. If you're a local, this is the week to get out there on the water for sure. Has anybody ever tried flutter spoons in the Tampa area? Not sure what a flutter spoon is. I think what you're referring to is that bass fishing spoon, which is actually they use it for like muskie and pike, I believe. I've actually have one in my tackle box. Someone gave me to rig up for slow pitch jig fishing. We're kind of a new approach that we're gonna try to test out. Manny Rob, appreciate those stars, but as far as using freshwater lures in saltwater, like a flutter spoon, I think he called it, it probably would work really well, especially for those cobia that get up on the power plant, especially when we have the mackerel or kingfish around. I'm sure it would work well. Redfish love a gold spoon. I don't know about an 8-inch gold spoon, but they definitely like gold spoons as well. I like to catch my own shrimp in the grass flats at low tide at night using a dip net and a headlight in Pinellas County. Very bad numbers lately. Worried. Is that water temperature? Do you think there's something to worry about in the fishery? Shrimp actually do better when water quality goes down. Shrimp are one of those weird things. So during a really bad red tide, you can't eat the crustaceans or bivalves or clams, oysters, all that out of the water. But they get a lot bigger and they grow really fast because they have a lot of food. Remember, shrimp are filter feeders. They actually feed on algae. So they actually feed on the red tide bloom and they really, really proliferate, get bigger, get a lot easier to catch. And they make really good baits because they get huge. During the last big red tide bloom, we were getting bait shrimp the size of oysters or the size of lobsters. It was crazy. Jose Rosario, appreciate those stars. So I wouldn't be too worried about the shrimp. I don't think they're a really good indicator of estuarian health. We've lost a lot of grass flat, so I think that's the biggest concern, habitat health. But shrimp even don't need grass flats. They can survive on just mud flats. So shrimp are one of those things that I don't think are a great indicator just because they like red tide. They can survive in virtually any habitat. I know I was out at Fort DeSoto with my son camping and my wife and my daughter, but my son and I were hanging out on the seawall fishing, and there was shrimp everywhere. At night, shining the flashlight around, all you see are these little eyeballs everywhere. Tons of shrimp. It made it really hard to catch fish because there were so many shrimp around. They didn't want to look at our lures because there were so many live shrimp. So we ended up having to go buy shrimp to successfully catch fish around there because there was so much shrimp on the flat. So maybe just try a little different area. I know around full moons, my dad would take us and we'd anchor up in passes with lanterns and dip shrimp. This is a great time to do that. Louis Canaveri, appreciate those 200 stars, man. Let's see. 10-hour trips. When does the boat leave? They're 7 to 5, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Half-day trips are daily at 8 a.m. Do you go out on trips with customers? Not as much as I would like to. I was supposed to go on a 39-hour trip today with some valued guests, family friends that charter us for 39-hour trips multiple times a year. But unfortunately, it got pulled a different direction, so couldn't make it out with them today. But I try to go fishing as much as I can. I went 2 weeks ago on a 12-hour extreme with some guests, but most of what I do is entertaining clients that fish a lot with us. I don't get to go out on the party boat trips as much as I would like, but definitely would like to do that more, especially in slower times. But it seems like when we slow down at the business, then I end up with all these projects that have to get done. Like this time of year, we're slower and have lighter loads, but we're in the middle of Regulars Club signups that I handle myself. So it makes it a little tricky, but finding the time, got to make the time. Because remember, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Would you ever consider renting premium fishing rod and reel setups for a charge fee over the current basic ones? No, we wouldn't consider that. You would not believe the abuse and just it's amazing what these rods and reels go through. And we've tried doing that in the past with extremely low success. Often, some of the abuse these rods and reels see, we are lucky to get a month or 2 months out of some of that tackle. And a higher end product doesn't last much longer. The amount of salt, the amount of mishandling, the amount of slamming around. Think about our 5-hour half days. A majority of people on the boat don't know how to fish or haven't fished before, and they don't know how to treat tackle. So it makes it really, really, really tricky in order to offer high-quality gear. Plus, the fact that high-quality gear, you really have to baby it. You have to set back off the drag. You have to really, really rinse it off. You have to clean it up. You have to maintain it a lot more heavily. And that's a big challenge as well, trying to make sure that gets done on some of that high-end tackle. So it's very, very difficult to pull off. We've tried it in the past, and it didn't work out well. But we have really, really good options in the shop for some pretty good values. I mean, you could get a spinning rod and reel combo setup for $150, $250. That's nice. We have conventional rods and reels you could get that are pretty decent for $250, $350, and you have a really good setup that is a little higher end than the rental rods and reels, and that you can use yourself when you go out fishing with us. Or you can buy some of the high-end stuff, invest, and hold it around like that. It's kind of up to you. I would always recommend starting with the rental tackle, starting on a 5-hour, finding out if you like it. If you like it, do a couple 5 hours, do a 10-hour or 2, then maybe buy a introductory conventional reel. Get a little bit more into it, maybe buy an introductory spinning reel, then maybe try a longer trip. And then if you like that, maybe buy a higher end reel that can do some of that deeper water, bigger fish. Now you've got 3 rods and reels and you haven't invested a ton of money. So I would recommend going that route personally, but our rental rods and reels aren't bad, but they're definitely a little overpowered, a little heavier than some of the nicer stuff that is sold, just because they have to handle the abuse. But we are having Black Friday sales right now. Great reminder, Smitty. Thank you. A lot of our rods and reels are 25% off. Some are 30% off. We're selling spinning reels right now for $25. Those Akuma Avenger spinning reels. Some of our Daiwa BG combos are like, I think, $119, $115 after the discount. That's a BG combo. That's normally $170, $160. So really, really good deals in the shop. Josh just put the link to our shop. You can also buy this stuff on our website and have it shipped to you, except for rods and reels, or rods. We don't ship rods, but we will ship reels. So you can buy all that stuff, take advantage of Black Friday on the website as well. But if you're balling on a budget, you want to definitely take advantage of that Black Friday deal, and definitely look out some of those more entry-level series, like the Daiwa BG if you're looking for spinning reels. We have the Saltist H series, the Saltist, the C line, Daiwa C line is a good lower cost of value reel that we carry conventional wise. I think it's like 150, 170 bucks normally, and it's 25% off right now. So definitely a lot of options to get you a nice combo. It is time to give away another free trip. Let's give away our 5-hour half day for 2 guests. 5-hour half day for 2 guests. Lucky winner is Sandy Fisher. Sandy Fisher from St. Pete. Congratulations. You got a 5-hour half day for 2 guests. Remember, to finish up that thought, when you're buying a rod and reel combo, your rod should be your greatest investment. Your rod is going to be what gives you the sensitivity to feel the bite. It's going to give you the backbone to fight the fish. Your reel just provides a mechanism, the drag. So it is important to have a nice reel with nice smooth drag and a lot of drag to catch a bigger fish. But introductory-wise, starting out, a huge drag isn't important. Having a smooth drag is nice, but almost all newer reels are going to have a smoother drag to start. Daiwa specifically is going to have a nice drag no matter what you buy. Penn, in my opinion, kind of sucks. Their drag systems aren't as good, in my opinion. But Shimano, Daiwa, Accurate, which isn't really introductory. They're expensive. But Avet, Shimano, Daiwa, they have kind of budget series. The Shimano Speedmaster is a little pricey, but not terrible. Avet, I'm not familiar with their value series, but I know they have one that's not crazy expensive. Daiwa, it's the Saltist C-Line, and then there's one other one that's a step up from C-Line before Saltist, but it's not coming to my head right now. But we sell it in our shop, and I can show it to you. We got time for one more questions. Let's see. Looking for my picture from the 39-hour that left this Friday. We just haven't had a chance to upload them. That trip came in this morning. Camera's sitting on my desk. Just didn't have a opportunity to get them on the website today. But we'll get them on the website most likely tomorrow. One more question, Josh. Let's do one more. We'll wrap it up. Trying to end on a high note here, guys. So as Josh searches, have you used one of the descending tools? Thinking of getting the 151 for the next trip. I wish we had my email. I don't think we have my email on this computer anymore. But if I got emailed a bunch of videos, do we have Outlook on here? No. You're not logged into me anymore. Oh, you're logged in here. There we go. Search Nick Haddad when you get into that email inbox. If you get into the email inbox, that is. We actually recently, the trip I was out on 2 weeks ago was with NOAA Fisheries and the Gulf Council staff, and we were actually out there doing release, using those release gears, and we actually got the opportunity to send a lot of video equipment down and actually film the releases. So it was pretty cool, and it works really well. But we're struggling to pull up the video of that. But there's a lot of the video on return'emright.org. Is a great website that's going to have a lot of information, and you can take the course. You can actually get some of that stuff free sent to you. If you take the 15-minute course, and give them your information, they'll actually send you those release gears absolutely free. And I really liked the Sequelizer as one of my favorite release gears. But on that recent trip, we actually, the See You Later that also comes in that box, we actually enjoyed more. It was pretty cool, and it worked really, really well. So there's a lot of different options out there as far as return gear goes, but definitely enjoyed using that stuff, and it works well, to answer your question. So with that, don't forget to check out our friends over at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Petersburg. is a great local tackle shop. Awesome people over there. They have a huge selection, killer deals. You don't want to miss the opportunity to join our friends over at Gator Jim's Tackle. Again, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. Check them out and tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you. You'll get an opportunity to get a free gift. So definitely stop on by, say hello. And then also want to give a shout out to our supporters. If you're a part of our supporters group, our supporters after show is going to start up right around 9:50. We'll start up that supporters after show. So hopefully you'll join us for that. If you're not a supporter, you can become a supporter tonight. Josh just dropped the link into the comments for y'all. It's only $4.99 a month to be a part of the supporters group. You get, again, private access to the private supporters group. You get the private supporters after show. You get a little bit more one-on-one communication, and it's kind of a private group of fishy folks that are all super supportive and nice and help each other out. So really cool option there. Again, only $4.99 a month to join. And our supporters after show will start at 9:50. And then with that, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Trovo, Twitch, TikTok, LinkedIn, also on the Nextdoor app, Waypoint TV app, and the Fish Rules app, or Fish Brain app, excuse me. David Pruitt, appreciate those 500 stars, buddy. Thank you very much. So check us out on all our social media. Make sure you give us a follow. If you see us post a video, make sure you give it a like for us. Really helps when you see a post from Hubbard's Marina. If you like it, especially if you like it and then comment on it, helps it to reach more people. So don't forget to do that. A lot of people ask, why am I not seeing the posts anymore? I don't see your online videos anymore. I don't see your morning fishing reports anymore. It's because you don't like and comment when things are posted. If you see a video that we do, we're standing up on the bow of the boat talking about the weather, showing the sunrise. If you don't like it, if you don't comment on it, even if you watch it, if you don't like and comment on it, eventually you're going to stop seeing them. It's going to stop showing you. It's going to stop notifying you that Hubbard's Marina is live. So you have to make sure you like and comment on all our posts so you don't miss anything. And it helps us to reach more people. So definitely make sure you do that. Richard Blasak, appreciate those 50 stars, buddy. Don't forget to check out our 2023 schedule and make sure you book some 2023 trips. Those spots will fill fast, and those trips will go quickly. December 30th, 6 to 9 p.m., final Friday, every final Friday. Free food, free beer, free soda, free water. Killer deals in the shop, cornhole, barbecue, fish fry, December 30th, 6 to 9 p.m. Don't miss out. We're going to have that Facebook event out to you guys hopefully this week, and definitely don't miss out. December 30th, 6 to 9 p.m. If you're in our supporters group, if you're a Regulars Club member, December 17th from 4 to 7 p.m., we've got our Regulars Club and Supporters Club parties. You're going to get your free shirts for supporters. Regulars Club members will get free shirts, hats, and the calendars. We're going to have a few jackets, a few bags for some of those early arrivals in our Regulars Club. So definitely join us December 17th, 4 to 7 p.m. if you're a supporter, if you're in the Regulars Club. And everybody, December 30th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Final Friday. Thanks for watching, y'all. Every Sunday night right here, 8:30 p.m., we do our live stream show. So make sure you stay tuned to the Hubbard's Marina page. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Let's see who won our 39-hour fishing trip for one guest. Our last free trip of the night before we close out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. The lucky winner is Judy Kelly. Congratulations from Northwood, Ohio. Congratulations, Judy. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys again next week for another episode. Tight lines, y'all. We're out.